What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. Now, today there was a meeting of the board of the directors for Juventus. Will it play a big part in the future success of the club? As in, will it mean a change in leadership at the coaching position? Stick with us. We'll fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the bianconerizonechannel. My name is Justin Soferu, and today it is Friday, September 23rd, 2022, and of course this is your latest rundown of all things Juventus. I got it for you. Before you do anything though, do me a solid favor, smash that like button, help us get a big thumbs up, and help the channel to continue to grow, help the algo, all that crap. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. Now, without further ado, let's just jump into it. The news that we have today, obviously, you guys are ready and you want to know what happened with, of course, the board of directors, Max Allegri. What does it mean for his future? Well, we'll get to that here momentarily. Let's go and open it up, though, with the first news report we have of the day, and that is Milan's Mike Maignan could be out for 2 to 3 weeks, reports Le Parisien, who is now saying that with this occurrence happening, Juventus could go against Milan with them down their main goalkeeper. I want to be optimistic here, but at the same time, do we really think that this matters in the grand scheme of things? Given the way that Juventus have performed recently, if you would have told me this, back in like January, February, that kind of squad, the way the squad was performing then, yeah, I'd say that gives us a big leg up. But with the way Juventus is performing right now, it may mean a whole lot of nothing. It may just be, Juve still get beaten by a lesser squad. If we're being honest, I don't mean negative, but that's the honest truth if we're being real. All right, let's continue on, though, and let's talk about what other moves that could be made. Well, Gazzetta dello Sport's reporting, as Gazzetta dello Sport reports, saying that Inter doing Inter things, right, are interested in Juan Cuadrado should he leave Juventus for free in the next summer. Well, here's the thing. He is leaving for free in the next summer. Juventus do not need to continue on with him. Obviously, his performance has waned compared to what you're used to seeing Juan Cuadrado do, especially, two and a half years ago. He is not the same player. It's time to retire him. It's time to put him out to pasture. If that pasture happens to be in Inter and Milan, even better for him to go there and, hamstring their club, if you will. So there you go, Juan Cuadrado. And of course, you'd hate to see, and I get it, for people that love certain players, you hate to see them go. And I don't want to talk negatively about Juan Cuadrado, but obviously his performance is not up to par. If he feels so inclined to go to Inter, though, he is not a player that I'm going to fill my diaper about him leaving and going to a club like Inter. That's not one of those players. There's players of different calibers. Like, obviously, you can't have a Chiellini, a Del Piero, even a Dybala go to an Inter, but I'm not going to get upset if Cuadrado does it. Maybe you change. Maybe you feel different than I do. But honestly, I just don't think he's the caliber player that they're going to really need in that situation, or anybody needs, honestly. All right, maybe the MLS, right? Maybe the MLS can have him. All right, let's continue on, though. We have updates. Paul Pogba, with his injury, when he can recover. Well, Gazzetta dello Sport is reporting saying that Juventus is sure that Paul Pogba's recovery is progressing well. The schedule foresees his return for the beginning of November. So, great, I guess. Again, I know I'm trying not to be overly negative about the way, obviously, the situation for the club is. Adding Paul Pogba was great, but there's a whole foundational problem. There's a whole other amount of issues than just adding a player that's going to fix anything, right? But, of course, also, a little tongue-in-cheek, but you have to look at it and say, November. So obviously he'll be back in time for him to go basically play in the World Cup. So he can return from his injury in November to probably personal training, stuff like that. And then once that comes along, he'll be going to play for the World Cup. Then maybe we'll see him next year, if we're being real. All right. We do have a follow-up on Paul Pogba, though. And here's a report. His brother, Matthias Pogba, had some statements about Paul Pogba. And I'm sorry. We're about to enter, spooky season? It's almost October. It's almost Halloween time. So that's the only reason I'm even commenting on this laughable news, really. Let's get real. But Paul Pogba's brother is reporting that Paul Pogba's shaman was advised, or witch doctor, was advised by Sergei Aurier, I don't know. Paul Pogba cast a spell on Mbappe in the memorable Champions League draw between Manchester and PSG. Paul had asked the witch doctor to win the World Cup. The truth will come out. I mean, this is jackassery at its finest. I mean, it's this Paul Pogba's brother, witchcraft, whatever, all this nonsense. It's just ridiculous, right? I mean, if you disagree with me and you think it's something to take serious, you let me know in the comment section down below. But your boy is not. I mean, if you want to, maybe call up that witch doctor, ask if he can fix Juve's problems. Fix Max Allegri next time, have him coach. Do something. Do something for the club. But otherwise, this is just jackassery by Paul Pogba's brother. But I just thought it was fun. And, you know, Halloween's almost here, guys. So there we go. All right. Now, let's get into a more serious topic, though. And we have, of course, ClaudioMarquisio, who is one of the few guys here that actually seems to personally care right now when it comes to Juventus, the way they perform and the way that they just get better, right? It's just actually performing and actually winning matches, right? ClaudioMarquisio comes out and says, as a fan of Juventus, I don't understand how you struggle against low-ranking teams. I hope we can all come out of this period together because the expectations for a club like Juve are high. The secret of Juventus winning the 9 Scudetti, that's a question, having hit rock bottom after 2 7th-place finishes, Conte was good there. When he arrived, he managed to hit the right chords of our soul. He told us that on the pitch, we had to get our balls out. Which is fun, right? I enjoy that. I enjoy that kind of speaking. And, obviously, theatrics saying, get your balls out and stuff like that. It's fun. It's tongue-in-cheek. But at the same time, it actually shows me Conte's line of thinking. And this isn't trying to be a pro-Conte channel, right? There have been negative things associated with Conte of recent years. Though I do think he is probably the best fit to replace Allegri and maybe get Juve back where they are. There's plenty of reasons why I believe this. I know there's people who disagree with it, who say, let's not go to a pass. Let's not go backwards. We need to move forwards. I understand the line of thinking. I'm just looking at what's out there. I'm looking at what I put the most trust in, right? Anyway, as I was saying, I at least appreciate ClaudioMarquisio for being one of those guys that's actually honest, actually speaks his mind, and actually is taking this thing head on and actually running with it instead of just wilting to Juventus and pretending like everything's okay. I'm not here for that. I'm not here for those discussions. I'm not here for people that do not expect the best of the club. I think you're actually damaging the club. Like if I'm somebody who's going to go out there and just put false positivity out there into the ether for Juventus, you're actually doing a disservice to the club. You're not helping anybody. Move on. All right. Let's continue on, though, and let's actually get into this board meeting. Is this the board meeting? Is this the one with Allegri out? Hashtag Allegri out. Is Allegri going to be done at Juventus at the club? Are we going to move on? Are we going to bring in another coach right now as it seems fit? Well, we have basically reports from Tuttosport and Nico Scheda basically reporting a lot of what we were expecting. But there is something to come out of this though, so stick with us because there's more layers. There's more layers to the onion that you got to peel back. Basically, both of them coming out saying today's board of directors meeting will not discuss Allegri's position. Allegri's future is not on the agenda of today's Juventus board meeting. The coach has been confirmed for days and remains on the bianconeri bench as already reported last Sunday, which I think a lot of us expected that to be the case. Obviously, I would love to see them, put the nail in the coffin of Max Allegri, move on, get the guy you need, and get going. But let's be honest, mid-season, that ain't easy to do. It's not easy to find a suitable substitution. Also, if Juve are to make a move right now, if you're Juventus and you're going to go ahead and make a move and you go switch to another guy, my main thing is you're probably not getting a guy like Antonio Conte. You're getting somebody else. You're getting a lower level coach to come in, and to me, a move like that would reek of desperation. Though I would have loved if they would have at least talked about it. I'm sure, to me, there's no way that it wasn't brought up. Because I know one guy who definitely brought it up. One guy who's sitting there who was probably the champion of the people. He definitely had to have brought it up, right? We'll talk about him in a sec. But overall, this move, them not talking about it, them sticking with him, it makes sense enough for right now. Because again, if you do it mid-season, you're going to make a move. You're going to make a move to a guy that probably isn't going to be the right fit. And it's probably going to be a desperation move and could hurt Juve longer in terms. Though, right now, Max Allegri is not doing himself any favors, and even a mid-tier coach could probably do better than him. All right, let's continue on, though, and let's talk about the board of directors meeting. Sky Sport had some reports, basically what they're going to talk about. He said at the end of the board of directors meeting, a report which will contain updates on the business plan. It's all numbers and figures, trying to dig out of the red, get out of the hole. That's what it is. For the next year, undoubtedly tied to the results on the field, in particular, the UCL will be presented. Not qualifying to the next round would cost right away 9.6 million euros for Juventus of missed revenues due to the non-qualification, plus another estimated 4 million euros of missed revenues from the stadium. You know, ticket sales, concessions, other things like that, merchandising, all that good stuff Juve will miss out on, and that's a big part. But also, I will say this too, not winning bleeping games will cost you that. Well, I guess that is at its core is what they're saying. Not winning games because you're not having games there. But really what I'm saying is having piss poor performances that nobody wants to go watch is another thing that's costing you money. Have you seen the turnout and the attendance? Have you seen those empty seats? Because I've seen them. Anyway, let's continue on. Sky Sport goes on to say, plus a variable tied to the market pool, which depends on the number of games played. In short, missed revenue of around 20 million euros for Juventus. A turning point is needed on the field and outside. In addition, they have to work on reducing the costs. Following the last mercado, the spending on the squad, depreciation plus salaries, has dropped by 33 million euros. So that's good, but it's not good when the performance of the club is much worse. So that's great. You're saving money at Eva Bene, but you're saving it at the cost of Juventus's, just wins and losses. I don't know what else I was trying to get at, right? Anyway, so basically it has dropped by 33 million. I should have finished this off from 311 million euros in 2021-22 to the current at 278. So that's good. It's good that you're saving money. Bad that you're losing games. That's it. And again, this is a business. This isn't, I talk about college sports or whatever. This isn't a sport, a business that's derived by, well, we could also make money off of the university, the schooling, and all that stuff. No, all of this is dependent on wins and losses. If you want to be the best, you got to pay up like the best. You got to make the money like the best, right? All right, let's continue. And here's the main thing that I wanted to get to. A big news story. Probably the biggest part that come out of this. We'll see if this is a power play or not, but El Messaggero is reporting saying that Pavel Nedved, the champion of the people, one of the guys who actually cares about wins and losses for this team, a guy who is not besties with Max Allegri, a guy who's not just trying to feed his own ego. He cares about this team. He cares about winning. He cares about performance, and he cares about exciting football. Pavel Nedved could resign his position at Juventus, is being reported by El Messaggero. Pavel Nedved alone against everyone. He is fighting to dismiss Massimiliano Allegri right away. Again, I made the comments that I did earlier about maybe it's not the most feasible thing to understand. Heck, the dream would be Conte would actually, kind of pull a Conte and kind of just abandon Tottenham, come back to Juventus to do this season now. Is it likely? Very, very extremely unlikely. Extremely unlikely. I'm not going to pull a Julian and say 0%, but it's very unlikely. But at the same time, at this point, if you could even find an interim coach, a guy who could step up in the interim, I wouldn't do Montero because to me personally, I think you're hurting once again. You're spiting what? You're spiting your eye to, was it you spite your face to hurt your whatever? I don't know what the term is. You know what the term I'm talking about, right? You know what I mean? You're hurting one part of you instead of the thing that actually matters. You're trying to hurt somebody else, but instead you're hurting yourself. That's what I'm saying. Not good with the analogy right now. I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's what I'm saying is Juventus don't need to hurt their youth program that they're working so hard to build right now to try to put Montero into that kind of position. It's stupid. That'd be a dumb move. He's not ready for it. You don't need to do another Pirlo. It doesn't need to happen. I'm still disappointed that Pirlo didn't get more time. When I say get more time, but didn't just go straight to the U23 and get time there to develop and really craft his position and his tactical ideology as a coach. But who do you get? That's the question I'm going to leave to you guys today. Who do you get if Pavel Nedved were to win this fight? You get Massimiliano Allegri out of here right now, and you get somebody who can at least right the ship for a little bit until potentially a guy like Antonio Conte, Italiano, yada, 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 whoever else comes in. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Are you disappointed in the outcome today of the board meeting? Did you expect more to come out of this, or did you just kind of expect what a lot of us did of it's a whole lot of nothing? We're getting a whole lot of nothing, and right now we're going to live in frustration as Juventus fans until a move is made. Let me know all that in the comment section down below. If you haven't already, smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. I will see you guys next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri. Say hello to your old lady for me.